Hello and welcome to watching Rajya Sabha TV. This is Breakfast News. I'm Rajat Kane. Let's have a look at the top headlines. India warns Pakistan of unequivocal response to beheading of 2 Indian soldiers. Army to revise standard operating procedures along the line of control. President Pranab Mukherjee says terrorism a major threat to society. He's called on international community for collective action to combat it. Central government defends decision to link PAN cards with Aadhaar. Tells Supreme Court it has saved 50,000 crore rupees on schemes to benefit poor because of Aadhaar. IS militants strike displaced people's camp and Syria's northeastern border with Iraq. Over 40 civilians and Kurdish-led fighters killed. India to take on Japan in Sultan Azlan Shah hockey tournament in Malaysia. Suffers first loss in the tournament after 1-3 loss to Australia. India has warned Pakistan of unequivocal response to beheading of 2 soldiers at the line of control in Jammu and Kashmir. India's Director General of Military Operations, Lieutenant General A.K. Bhatt, spoke to his Pakistani counterpart to express his grave concern. Pakistan has, however, rejected the charge and has sought actionable evidence. The Indian Army, in a statement, said the DGMO of Indian Army conveyed that such a dastardly and inhuman act is beyond any norms of civility and merits unequivocal condemnation and response. The DGMO also conveyed that full fire support was provided by Pakistani Army post located close to where the incident took place in Krishna Ghati sector of Poonch district. The DGMO also conveyed concern about the presence of border action team training camps in close vicinity of the LOC in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. After the surprise attack by Pakistani troops, the Indian Army and the BSF will be revising their standard operating procedures or the SOPs on the line of control. The Indian security establishment also sees a link between the attack in which 2 soldiers were beheaded and the visit by Pakistan Army Chief Qamar Bajwa to the LOC a day before.
The Border Security Force on Tuesday said that the Pakistani army provided cover with firing to their border action team personnel to enable them to attack and kill Indian Jawans in the Krishna Ghati sector of Jammu and Kashmir's Poonch district. In another development, the Indian Director General of Military Operations called his Pakistani counterpart on the hotline and told that the act of beheading was dastardly and inhuman. The DGMO also raised the issue of fire support provided by the Pakistani posts. However, Pakistan's army has denied any involvement in the attack or mutilation of the Indian soldiers.
उनके 2 FDL opposite side से पाकिस्तान की तरफ से और 2 ambush जो उन्होंने लगा रखे थे, चारों ने simultaneous फायर शुरू किया और जो बाकी हमारे जवान थे वो उसमें इंगेज थे और इसी फायरिंग के बीच में जो बैट एक्शन होता है, बैट एक्शन का मतलब है कि जो टिपिकली इट कंसिस्ट ऑफ द रेगुलर आर्मी एंड मुजाहिदीन्स और दे ट्रेन मिलिटेंट्स, तो उन दोनों ने इस फायर पावर का जो उनकी तरफ से आ रहे थे 2 FDL और 2 एम्बुश के, उसका फ़ायदा उठाते हुए उन्होंने 2 जवानों को म्यूटिलेट किया, उनकी बॉडी को.
Meanwhile, the army and the BSF bid farewell to both martyred soldiers. Naib Subedar Paramjeet Singh and Head Constable Prem Singh in a wreath-laying ceremony organized in Poonch. The mortal remains of both soldiers were flown to their native villages.
That we are here to mourn and to pay tribute to the martyr, and we are with the family, the whole force, BSF, Indian Army, the whole country is united at this moment.
जिस तरह की नापाक हरकत पाकिस्तान ने की है, वो युद्ध में भी नहीं की जाती है. हम इसकी पूरी भर्त्सना करते हैं. देश के शहीदों की शहादत व्यर्थ नहीं जाने दी जाएगी.
It has affected the morale of the Indian people, morale of the Indian army, and it has had also continuous attack in the military installations. it put a question mark about the security structure in the border.
The mutilation of our soldiers at the border is something which is reprehensible and we strongly condemn. The issue here is, how does the government of India intend to deal with this very real problem which is continuing?
On Monday, under the cover of heavy rocket and mortar fire, Pakistan's border action team had sneaked across the line of control into the Poonch sector in Jammu and Kashmir and beheaded 2 Indian soldiers. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
The militants on Tuesday night snatched 5 rifles from police guards posted at Shopian district complex in Kashmir. The militants attacked the guard room of the court complex and decamped with 4 INSAS and 1 AK-47 rifle. Although no one was injured in the incident, all 5 policemen were suspended for the alleged neglect of duty as they showed no resistance when the militants looted their weapons. An alarm was sounded following the incident and a hunt has been launched in the area. The incident comes a day after militants gunned down 7 people who were accompanying a district treasury van in adjoining Kulgam district. And in the developments in the morning today, Pakistan violated ceasefire along the line of control. The violation took place along the line of control in Poonch district of Jammu and Kashmir. And more news from Kashmir. After the beheading of 2 soldiers on the LOC by Pakistan Army, tension has escalated in Kashmir Rally. The Election Commission cancelled the by-election to Anantnag parliamentary constituency indefinitely, while several meetings took place in the national capital to discuss the prevailing law and order situation in Kashmir. There is a roundup of all the developments on Tuesday.
The Election Commission cancelled the Anantnag Lok Sabha by-poll scheduled for the 25th of May, citing poor law and order situation and lack of adequate security forces. This after the state government informed the Election Commission that the situation in South Kashmir and rest of the valley is not conducive to hold the election. In a 10-page order issued on Monday night, the Election Commission stated that the by-election to fill the vacancy will be held by the Commission in due course when the law and order situation becomes conducive to the holding of free, fair and peaceful election. The Anantnag Lok Sabha seat fell vacant after Mehbooba Mufti took over as the Chief Minister in July last year following the death of her father, Mufti Muhammad Saeed.
तसद्दुक मुफ्ती साहब उन्होंने एक अच्छा फैसला लिया, वो एक पिटीशन किया उन्होंने इलेक्शन कमीशन से और उसके बाद इलेक्शन कमीशन एसेस करता रहा होम मिनिस्ट्री और स्टेट गवर्नमेंट से सिक्योरिटी सिचुएशन भी और इसके सियासी मुज़म्मिरात पर भी बड़ी लंबी बहस हुई आज तक और आज ये फैसला हुआ कि हालात मौजूद नहीं है इंतखाबात के लिए, लोगों के हक में है ये फैसला.
The by-poll, earlier scheduled for April, was deferred after 8 people were killed in poll-related violence. The Srinagar parliamentary seat, which was won by National Conference Chief Farooq Abdullah, witnessed a record low voter turnout of over 7%. Reacting to the EC's decision, former Chief Minister of the state, Omar Abdullah, tweeted, "It's depressing to see how far we have regressed in Kashmir from the highs of the assembly polls of 2014 to the cancelled election of 2017. Meanwhile, Jammu and Kashmir Governor N.N. Vora met Home Minister Rajnath Singh in the capital and reviewed the ground situation of the valley. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley too met with the Prime Minister to discuss the government's latest strategy after the beheadings of the 2 Indian soldiers by Pakistani Army on Monday. The situation in Kashmir has remained volatile since July last year after the killing of Hizbul terrorist Burhan Wani in a police encounter. More than 90 people have lost their lives in protests since then. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
President Pranab Mukherjee has said that terrorism is a major threat to societies and collective action by the international community against it can no longer be postponed. He said there can be no justification for terrorism and its use as an instrument of state policy is perilous and reprehensible. The President said this while welcoming Turkey's President Recep Tayyip Erdogan at Rashtrapati Bhavan. He said, and I quote, "We believe that international community should cooperate closely to address this menace. Collective, coordinated action by international community against terrorism can no longer be postponed. India believes that there can be no justification whatsoever for terrorism. Its use as an instrument of state policy is perilous and reprehensible. We believe that closer coordination and concerted efforts by the international community are necessary to tackle this menace effectively." Now, in other news, the Indian Army successfully test-fired an advanced version of BrahMos land attack cruise missile in Andaman Nicobar Islands on Tuesday. The land-to-land configuration of BrahMos missile was launched from a mobile autonomous launcher. The test firing of Block 3 version of missile demonstrating the weapon's unmatched lethality of hitting the center of the designated target with a bullseye precision. News agency PTI is quoting the Army source as saying that supersonic cruise missile successfully hit the land-based target with desired precision in a top attack configuration, meeting all flight parameters in a copybook manner. Prime Minister Modi is in Uttarakhand today. The Prime Minister began his visit by offering prayers at Kedarnath Shrine, whose portal will be thrown open to pilgrims after 6 months long winter break. Later in the day, he will also inaugurate Patanjali Research Institute in Haridwar before returning to Delhi. Meanwhile, Uttarakhand Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat flew to Kedarnath on Tuesday to review preparations ahead of Prime Minister's visit. He visited the medical camp set up at Kedarnath Temple to provide prompt medical facilities as well as accommodation arrangements made for the pilgrims. Prime Minister Modi has raised concerns about the possible impact of changes in Australian visa regulations for skilled professionals during a telephonic conversation with his counterpart, Malcolm Turnbull, on Tuesday. The two leaders decided that officials from both sides will remain in a close touch on the issue. India is closely examining consequences of Australia's decision to abolish a popular work visa used by over 95,000 foreign workers. The majority of these workers are from India. The visa program, which is known as 457 visa, allows businesses in Australia to employ foreign workers for a period of up to 4 years where there is a shortage of Australian workers of that skill set. Time for a very short break. More news on the other side.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
It was an EVM leher, not Modi leher.
I think insult to the people of the country.
Why does the secular lobby say that the nationalism which is projected by BJP is a pseudo-nationalism?
We, after so many years, don't need any certificate from any lobby.
BJP is becoming bigger than RSS, or RSS is overshadowing BJP.
I don't think so that BJP can ever become bigger than RSS.
Watch To The Point with Union Minister Dr. Harshvardhan only on Rajya Sabha television.
Gir, the last refuge of the Asiatic lion. The national park comprises 1,412 square kilometers of deciduous forest, interspersed with semi-evergreen and evergreen flora, acacia, scrub jungle, grasslands and rocky hills. It's fed by large water bodies and the Kamleshwar Dam. Gir has about 400 lions and 300 leopards, making it one of the major big cat concentrations in India. You can explore them in their natural habitat to tiny wild birds, not seen easily but heard singing in the forest canopy, to crocodiles floating in the marsh waters.
Welcome back. In some good news for the economy, a UN report claims that India is expected to clock 7.1% growth in the year 2017 before edging up to 7.5% in the year 2018. A report titled Economic and Social Survey of Asia and Pacific 2017 also projects inflation between 5.3% to 5.5% in 2017 and 2018, which is above the official target of 4.5 to 5%. Noting the impact of demonetization, the report also said that demonetization exercise in November last year weighed down the country's economic condition in late 2016 and early 2017. However, the report mentioned that key risk in the growth trajectory was heightened financial sector risk related to concentration of bad loans in public sector banks. The government on Tuesday defended its decision to link PAN cards with Aadhaar in Supreme Court. The government said it was done to curb the use of fake PAN cards because country Attorney General Mukul Rohatgi added that an identification system was necessary for an orderly society and to keep pace with technology. The AG maintained that due to Aadhaar, government has saved over 50,000 crore rupees on schemes that benefited the poor. He also said that Aadhaar was an effective tool to check the menace of terror funding and circulation of black money. The apex court was hearing petitions challenging government's decision to make the 12-digit ID mandatory. A team of officials from CBI Enforcement Directorate have reached London for discussions on the extradition of former liquor baron Vijay Mallya. A 4-member team will apprise authorities of loan default case against Mallya. Mallya's extradition is now before British court when neither the CBI nor the ED are direct parties. The agency's move to send a team to London is aimed at presenting a strong case for extradition of Mallya before the court. He was arrested by British authorities last month on India's extradition request in connection with a rupees 900 crore loan default case being probed by the CBI. He was released on bail within hours by the London court, which has fixed May 17 as the next date of hearing. The extradition process for UK involves a number of steps, including decision by a judge on whether or not to issue an arrest warrant. A case of warrant, the person is arrested and brought back to the country for preliminary hearing, following by an extradition hearing before final decision is taken by the Secretary of State. Now, the crisis in Aam Aadmi Party seems to deepen after senior leader Kumar Vishwas indicated that he could quit the party. He has alleged conspiracies being hashed against him. Vishwas also said that he will keep on highlighting the mistakes of Aam Aadmi Party and says that it's right in the interest of the country. The Aam Aadmi Party leader was particularly upset with Okhla MLA Anantnag Lok Sabha, who on Sunday alleged that Vishwas was plotting a coup against party chief and Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and that he was an RSS BJP agent. Vishwas also remained adamant on Khan being sacked from the party, who had resigned from the party's Political Affairs Committee yesterday. Earlier, Kumar Vishwas had refused to attribute Aam Aadmi Party's recent poll losses to alleged manipulation of the EVMs and had instead stressed on the need to introspect. Meanwhile, the party cadre is trying to pacify Kumar Vishwas.
विधायक कह रहे थे जी बिल्कुल निकलना चाहिए, कार्यकर्ता कह रहे थे, पर कल जब उसने दोबारा बोला तब मुझे लगा कि ये रामविलास पासवान जी की पार्टी में से आया हुआ पहली बार का विधायक नहीं बोल रहा, ये सिर्फ मुखौटा है, इसके पीछे से कोई और बोल रहा है।
उनसे किसी ने किसी भी बात पे माफी मांगने के लिए नहीं कहा है। अब कुमार इसको पर्सनल लड़ाई बना रहे हैं।
A look at what else is making news across the nation in Nationwide. Madhya Pradesh on Tuesday became the first state to announce shifting of its financial year to the format of January-December from the present format of April-March cycle. A decision to this effect was taken during state cabinet meeting. It comes in the wake of Prime Minister Modi's pitching the idea of shifting financial year. The Enforcement Directorate had registered case under Prevention of Money Laundering Act against ousted ADMK leader TTV Dinakaran. It's in connection with the bribery of Election Commission officials to gain parties to leave symbol. IRCTC will launch 2 new circuits of its flagship luxury trains Maharaja Express this year. These 2 new trips have been named Southern Sojourn and Southern Jewels. They will cover prominent destinations in West and South India. The regular trip of these 2 journeys will take place in September 2017. The centre has sanctioned 588 crore rupee as relief to drought-affected Rajasthan. The decision was taken at a meeting of high-level committee chaired by Home Minister Rajnath Singh and attended by Finance Minister Arun Jaitley. Time for another short break. More on the other side.
Jade was popular during Mughal era and gained prominence during Akbar's rule in 15th and 16th century. It came all the way from Iran and Central Asia in attractive colors. The royalty had a unique use for it. Since jade changed color when it came in contact with arsenic, they started utensils like plates, jars, bowls, and even hookah with it, and thereby avoided getting poisoned by rivals.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Sen, an outstanding and extraordinary saltwater swimmer of India. He is the first Asian to swim the English Channel way back in 1958. And just 8 years later, in 1966, he swam the 7 seas of the 5 continents in 1 calendar year, which etched his name in the Guinness Book of World Records. In 1959, he was also conferred the Padma Shri, and in 1967 he was awarded the Padma Bhushan.
Welcome back. News from Venezuela, where there has been a widespread anger over President Nicolas Maduro's plan to rewrite the constitution. On Tuesday, protesters in Caracas once again barricaded streets and clashed with riot police. Opponents of Maduro set up roadblocks and staged demonstrations demanding elections. Close to 100 people blocked a major road in capital Caracas, with security forces deploying tear gas and water cannons at demonstrators. The development comes after President Maduro on Monday night announced to form a constituent assembly that will revise nation's democratic system. The opposition says the step would bypass the opposition-controlled Congress. The US said it was a bid to cling power. Venezuela's former regional allies, Brazil and Argentina too, have denounced the move. Opposition leaders have called for a mega protest on Wednesday as well.
Puesto que si estuviese convocando una constituyente, la agarraríamos de la mano, porque permitiría resolver problemas estructurales de nuestro país. Pero esto no es una constituyente.
Now, in the recent spate of violence by Islamic State, more than 40 civilians and Kurdish-led fighters have been killed in an attack by IS militants near Syria's northeastern border with Iraq. They targeted a makeshift camp for displaced Syrians and Iraqi refugees at Rajmal Salibi in Haseka province. According to a Syrian Observatory for Human Rights, at least 5 IS suicide bombers blew themselves up outside and inside the camp at Rajmal Salibi. At dawn on Tuesday, the militants also clashed with the members of Syrian Democratic Forces stationed at a nearby checkpoint. The IS jihadist group is coming under mounting pressure in northern Syria from SDF's Kurdish and Arab fighters who are supported by the US and from pro-government forces in neighboring Iraq. The SDF has driven IS militants out of much of Hasakeh and is close to taking control of strategically important Euphrates River Valley town of Tabba. I look at the other developments from around the world in World Wrap. US President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed to press for a ceasefire to halt the war in Syria. The two spoke by telephone for the first time since US launched airstrike against Syria nearly a month ago. White House and Kremlin statements suggest a productive conversations. Other topics discussed included North Korea and timing of future face-to-face meetings. The Trump administration on Tuesday pledged to work against recent surge in hate crimes, including those against Hindu and Sikh communities. The US Department of Justice said that it has already established a task force subcommittee to look into the issue and submit its recommendations. In February, the sessions had established task force on crime reduction and public safety. The task force has a hate crime subcommittee as well. Bangladesh police have arrested three terrorists of group blamed the killing of several secular bloggers and gay rights activists. The suspected terrorist, identified as Ashfaqur Rahman, worked as IT head of Al-Qaeda-inspired militant group Ansar Bangla team. The authorities say group carried out series of attacks since February 2015 in which at least 5 bloggers, a publisher and 2 gay rights activists were hacked to death. Now time for sports news. India will take on Japan in fourth round of round-robin match of the Sultan Azlan Shah tournament being played in Ipoh, Malaysia today. On Tuesday, India put up a spirited show before squandering early lead to go down 1-3 against defending champions Australia in their third league match. After managing to hold the world champions in the first quarter, India took the lead in the 25th minute through a field goal from Harmanpreet Singh. But Australia pumped in 3 field goals to maintain their position atop the round-robin league standings. After drawing against Great Britain in the opener and batting New Zealand 3-0 next, this was India's first loss. 9-time winners of Azlan Shah Cup, Australia now have 7 points from 3 outings, while last year's runner-up India are on 4 points after 3 matches. 4th seed Shiv Thapa advanced to Asian Boxing Championship quarterfinals with a hard-fought victory on Tuesday. Shiva, the World Championships bronze medalist and 2-time medalist at Asia Meet, edged past in his opponent in a split verdict, making the last 8 stage. Shiva will now face China's Tipai Chu Enlai in quarterfinals. Also advancing to quarterfinals was Sumit Sangwan, a former gold medalist at Asian Olympic qualifiers. He defended his Mongolian opponent in his last 16-bout take last night. Up ahead for Sumit is third-seeded Chinese Feng Kai Yu. Vikas Krishnan, Gaurav Bhatturi and Amit Fangal are other Indian boxers to have entered the quarterfinals spotters so far. The tournament is a qualifier for August-September World Championship in Hamburg, Germany. That's it for now. Keep watching Rajya Sabha TV for more. Thank you.